All right, so if that happens, now we're in play for a move to 38,000. Bitcoin bear flag, we're going to look at this chart. Bitcoin bear flag broke down yesterday. Like I had been saying, the probability was starting to favor. Now we look for confirmation. The market is calling the Fed's bluff. If the Fed cuts 6 times in this year, think about what the economy has to be dealing with at that point. Is it super rosy? That actually could be a very bad thing, right? You'd almost, for equity prices at least, you'd almost hope that the Fed doesn't cut that much, maybe even only just once or twice, because at least that means the economy is strong.
Wait a minute, everyone. Get ready for the ultimate crypto investing website, the Bitcoin Seller. It's your golden ticket to an exclusive insiders club. Expert predictions, on-chain data, and breaking news, all for you. Imagine all crypto insights landing in your inbox daily, like having your own expert team. Don't miss this VIP opportunity. Click the link and secure your spot. Join now and ride the crypto roller coaster with the Bitcoin Seller. Gareth, the market expert. He's keeping it simple by spotting a mysterious bear flag in the market chart, suggesting a potential move to 38,000. Gareth then shifts our focus to the chess game played by the Federal Reserve, explaining what multiple rate cuts next year might mean. As the curtain rises, Gareth kicks off the Bitcoin Fade adventure, breaking down complex market scenarios in an easy-to-understand way. But enough waiting, let's jump into the conversation with Gareth Soloway.
This is a chart of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin right here, this is your M top at 69,000 in 2021, and this is your market top. One of the things that I like to just point out to people is that if we have seen a near-term top in Bitcoin, is there a coordination with the stock market potentially topping? And one of the things that I've been looking at here, by the way, this is amazing packed informational game plan, is that you topped right here on Bitcoin on, let me see here, on November 10th, 2021. So this is November 10th, NOV 10th, right? So here, if we look over here, when did the S&P top? And if we look here, it was January 4th. So Jan 4th, 2022. So what we see here is that essentially there's approximately 6 weeks, 7 weeks between the top on Bitcoin, which is probably the highest risk asset of the big assets that are multi-billion dollars, and the stock market right here. Now, okay, so that's one data point, no big deal, right? So let's go to the next chart here and take a look at this one. This is from 2017. So let's look at 2017 and if that holds any weight. So what we see in 2017 is that on December 17th, 2017, Bitcoin topped right here, right? And then how long until the stock market had this dramatic decline? And what we can do here is actually take a look, and that is on January 26th. Jan 26th, apologize for my sloppy writing, 2018. All right, so now if we look at this date to this date, how many weeks is it? It's about 6 weeks again. So what we can do now is we can potentially say, okay, listen, 2 data points is interesting. I mean, it doesn't guarantee anything, we know that, but could it be that if Bitcoin is putting in a top or put in a top per the spot ETF at 49,000, does it mean that potentially 6 weeks from now is when the market could top? And again, I'm an educator here. My goal is to just give you guys information. You could say Gareth's a mess, he knows nothing, this doesn't mean anything, or you could say, oh, that's interesting, let's watch. And that's really my goal here, just to present information to you guys, give you guys an idea of what I am doing. I was telling you guys that every candle we got sideways was a little bit more of a mature bear flag. We got the breakdown. We haven't confirmed it yet. We need to see a close below, okay? This is important. We need to see a close below yesterday's low for it to confirm the breakdown. All right, so if that happens, now we're in play for a move to 38,000. Okay, so just something to keep an eye on. I'm not going to say much more because I think it's all self-explanatory.
Gareth Soloway takes the spotlight. Channeling his inner conductor, he unravels the intricate symphony of Bitcoin's movements, possibly linked to the broader market. Imagine this. Bitcoin's peak in November 2021 harmonizing with the S&P 500's rise in January 2022. Gareth suggests a rhythmic dance between Bitcoin and the stock market. Is it a planned performance or a spontaneous jam session? Gareth's chart magic drops hints of potential market moves, leaving us eager for more.
So those are the top headlines. I do want to show you the Fed watch tool. The reason I want to show you this, guys, is basically we need to look at how much the market is looking to expect from the Fed. So we've had multiple Fed officials in the last couple days coming out and saying, hey, guys, we may not cut till the third quarter of this year. We had one Fed official, Waller, last week that basically said, hey, guys, we're not even going to cut if the economy doesn't weaken at all. Yet the market clearly is showing us that in the very least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rate cuts this year going out to the December 2024 meeting, right? So again, market is calling the Fed's bluff. Now, the question is, and this is what I've said to you guys a lot, if the Fed cuts 6 times in this year, so this year 6 times, and they're not even slated to cut the first in January. So January 31st, right here, this is the first meeting. It's only about a week and a half away, right? They are not expected to cut. There's a 97.4% chance that they will not cut rates. That's basically a gimme, right? So the key is then starting in March, there's basically an equal chance that they'll cut in March or the next one is in May. So and then you have cut all the way until the end of the year. So again, my point is if they cut 6 times, think about what the economy has to be dealing with at that point. Is it super rosy? That actually could be a very bad thing, right? You'd almost, for equity prices at least, you'd almost hope that the Fed doesn't cut that much, maybe even only just once or twice, because at least that means the economy is strong. So let's take a look here. What do we have? So number 1, equity futures, S&P, spiders, Qs, all set to trade higher today. Again, looking at another rally in the markets, potential for all-time highs. This is the key, though. Look at number 2. Less than 30% of the S&P is trading above its 20 moving average. Now, to me, that was shocking when I saw that, right? You think about the markets, we're at all-time highs or very close to all-time highs. Yet you're telling me that only 30% of the entire 500 stocks in the S&P are above their 20 moving average. That is telling us something. That is telling us that the fundamentals, the core of the S&P is not performing well. It's also telling us that this rally is being led by basically 2 groups, right? You got the semiconductors, that's the specific group, and then you got the mega cap tech names overall. So that's really what we're seeing here, and that is a concern to me. Speaking of semiconductors here, guys, if we take a look here, we have SMCI, which is a semiconductor. They are jumping higher today on better than expected earnings. So again, SMCI jumping higher. That is lifting NVIDIA, jumping AMD a little bit today, and the rest of the semiconductors. I'm going to go over the semiconductor chart. I got something powerful to show you guys that should blow your mind like it blew my mind. All right, next up we have Macy's. Macy's laying 13% of their workforce off. So again, last week we talked about, or early this week, Citigroup, 20% of their workforce are going. I actually just saw a headline for Wayfair. Wayfair is laying off a bunch of workers. The stock is rallying 15% pre-market. Again, that symbol is W. And the reasoning being, they basically said, we overhired. They're admitting it, which to me, I'm like, wow. So how many companies out there, when labor was tight, they overhired, thinking the economy was going to roar back, and they're now finding that it's not. So little things like that I pay attention to. Travelers beat on earnings. The stock's trading higher by 5%. I have a key level for you guys to watch that we are into. Couple other headlines to take note of here, guys. We have Tesla. Tesla continues to struggle. It's one of the few stocks that's flat to lower today. If you look across the board, all the big cap tech are up. Tesla is fighting a key level here. The 210 level on a technical basis is very, very important. Can Tesla hold that level? If not, there's a trend line. We can even look at it today. If it breaks that, you're likely headed below 200. Semiconductors. All right, SMH potential measured move target still 5% away. So I think there's still a little bit more upside potentially in the SMH. I'm going to show you that measured move today. Save. Well, we'll talk about Bitcoin first. Bitcoin bear flag. We're going to look at this chart. Bitcoin bear flag broke down yesterday. Like I had been saying, the probability was starting to favor. Now we look for confirmation. The next one is Save here. That's Spirit Airlines. It's jumping about 30+% today. They're basically going back to JetBlue and saying, hey, would you please appeal the decision where it was rejected for the merger? So again, short term, I don't trade that crap, right? So that's a bounce. If that gets rejected, it's going right back down. They have a ton of debt, guys, so much debt that if they don't do a merger, it's basically bankruptcy. So it's really it's a gamble, right? Gambling, I don't look at gambling as being investing. I want odds in my favor. At best, it's 50-50. At best. Okay. Couple other headlines here, guys, or in fact, the last one, take a look at JB Hunt earnings. They beat. The stock is trading a little bit higher. The key here on JBHT is they're a transportation stock. They did say, however, though, that it was more cost-cutting, which is why they beat earnings. They said that the demand for freight is still very, very weak.
Gareth Soloway takes us on a thrilling ride through the headlines shaping the financial scene. It's the grand finale, a burst of information that leaves us hungry for more. Gareth delves into rate cuts, making us ponder their potential effects on the economy. The spotlight shifts to the surprising weakness in the S&P, with only 30% of its stocks above the 20-day moving average. What does this signal about the market, and who is leading the rally? Updates whirl in, from SMCI's earnings boost to Macy's job cuts. Gareth talks about Tesla's hurdles, the semiconductor sector pulse, Spirit Airlines bounce, JB Hunt's earnings, and broader impacts on freight demand. In this grand finale, Gareth invites us to decode the market's messages, leaving us thrilled for the twists and turns ahead. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Seller for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.